Hello boys and girls, nice to see you again. Well, today I'm going to read a Christmas story about a princess. Here she is. The story is called The Princess and the Christmas Rescue. And here she is holding a blueprint of something that perhaps she's making. The story is by Carol Hart and the pictures are by Sarah Warburton. Let's have a look inside. The Princess and the Christmas Rescue. Here's the snowy landscape. On top of the world, where the icy winds blow, a beautiful palace grows out of the snow. It sits in a forest of towering trees. The snow is so deep it goes up past your knees. This wonderful place, for just messing about, was home to a princess who'd never been out. The king said, "That forest is scary and wild, with tigers and bears that could eat a small child." Now Princess Eliza was brainy and bright. She kept herself busy from morning till night. With wood, lots of string and some pieces of wire, the princess could make anything you desire. This says it's an odd sock sorter. The king said, "This hobby is far from princessy. Your dress gets so dusty, your room is so messy. It's great that you make all these things," the queen said, "but how about making a friend now instead?" "What fun," thought Eliza. "I'll give it a go. I'll bake a nice gingerbread boy out of dough." But when he was cooked, the boy hopped off the tray, then stuck out his tongue and skedaddled away. Eliza sighed. "I'm getting nowhere like this." She found a large frog, and she gave it a kiss. She hoped it would turn into a prince before long. The frog just said, "Croak," and then, boing, he was gone. "Oh well," thought Eliza, "I've plaited my hair, I'll dangle it out of that window up there. A knight might climb up. We could have a fun game." She waited for hours, but nobody came. Poor Princess Eliza looked over the trees and sniffed at some smoke blowing in on the breeze. "A frog's not a friend. I can't make one from dough, and nobody visits because of the snow. Perhaps there is someone out there I can ask to help me succeed at this difficult task. I won't be gone long, and I'll wear this warm cloak." There it is. "I'll visit whoever is making that smoke." The princess set off through the glittering frost. The woods were confusing, and soon she was lost. A huge shaggy shape loomed up out of the snow. "The tigers and bears," gulped Eliza. "Oh no!" "Oh, please don't be frightened," a gentle voice said, and there stood a reindeer with bells on his head. "I'll take you to safety. Just climb on my back. My master lives down at the end of this track." There's a little house where the reindeer's master lives. Eliza crept in through the open front door, past huge sacks of letters piled up on the floor, and there in a room filled with untidy shelves sat a miserable huddle of sad-looking elves. There was Bertie and Gertie, Felix and Fred, and Pixie and Dixie, and Nora and Ned. The biggest was Gordon, the smallest was Nell. Each elf wore a pointed hat, topped with a bell. "Hello," said Eliza. "I've got a quick question. How can I make friends? Maybe you have a suggestion." The elves sighed. "Our master is poorly with flu. We'd all love to chat, but there's too much to do." "We must read these letters and sort all these toys. to wrap up and give out to good girls and boys. I'll help, said Eliza. I really don't mind. There's no point, sighed Bertie. We're too far behind. But Princess Eliza knew just what to do. When the elves went to bed, she found scissors and glue. With paper clips, sticky tape, cardboard and string, she made a cool gadgety speed reading thing. Look at that. It's making a list. Next morning, the elves found a neat list of names that matched every child with the right toys and games. Amazing, cried Felix and Fred in delight. Somebody read all those letters last night. There's the list. The elves and Eliza worked hard side by side. This Christmas list goes on forever, Nell cried. We'll never get finished before Christmas Day. There, said Eliza. I'm sure there's a way. That night, young Eliza sprang back into action. She made a robotic gift-picking contraption. She flicked the big switch, and in no time at all, it had all the presents lined up in the hall. There it goes, picking the presents. Bazonkers, cried Pixie and Dixie next morning. The elves and Eliza all gathered around yawning. Look, someone has sorted the toys in the night. We've checked the list twice and they've done it just right. Then Nora found sticky tape, paper and bows. But wrapping is tricky, as everyone knows. The elves and Eliza were doing quite well till Ned cried, Gadzookas! We've lost little Nell. I think she might be there in the box. By bedtime they'd run out of paper and glue. Oh, Princess, said Gordon, what are we to do? Don't worry, Eliza smiled, rubbing her eyes. Perhaps in the morning you'll get a surprise. And there the next morning, all sparkling and clean, they found a neat wind-up gift-wrapping machine. It gave a loud whir, then a clunk and a hum, and wrapped all the presents and labelled each one. Ho, ho, boomed a voice. Well, I rather like that. And there stood a man in a red suit and hat. Oh, Santa, you're better, the happy elves cried. Your sleigh's all ready to go just outside. A kind person helped us, but no one knows who. Princess? Asked Santa. Could it have been you? Eliza blushed. Yes, but don't tell my mum, please. She said I should stop making gadgets like these. What nonsense, smiled Santa. I'll give her a ring. I'm sure she'll be proud. You've done such a great thing. Now, how do you fancy a magical flight? Come help me deliver the presents tonight. Oh, how exciting. The sleigh travelled fast across countries and nations, all thanks to Eliza's quick modifications. We've done it, beamed Santa, and super quick too. But now it's your turn. What can we do for you? There's one thing, Eliza said, blushing bright pink. I need a new friend. Could you help, do you think? Oh, Princess, smiled Santa. Look round and you'll find you've made lots of friends just by being so kind. The Queen heard the news of her daughter's good deeds and said to the King, I know what that child needs. They sold a few paintings, some clothes and some jewels, and built her a workshop with all the best tools. There it says Eliza. The princess invented a snow-powered sleigh and played in the woods with the elves every day. She helped out each Christmas with kindness and skill, and as far as I know, she is doing it still. The end. Well, what a very bright and able princess. Here are some other stories about the princess. There's the back cover, and here's the back and front cover, and there's the front. The Princess and the Christmas Rescue. I hope you enjoyed that story. See you again soon. Goodbye.